Hello, what's going on? It's Doug Cunnington here, and I'm going to do some keyword research for you. So I decided to just throw together a quick live stream here, probably hang out for 45 minutes or maybe even 50. So sometimes people want help with keyword research, and I haven't done any kind of live session like this before. Hopefully you can hear me. I know there's a couple people in the chat here, so let me know if you can hear me. Say hello. That'll be a great way to break the ice. And if you need me to do keyword research, then you will have to tell me some stuff in your niche overall. What we can do, because I didn't tell anyone that I was going to do this, I just scheduled it like half an hour ago. What I'll do is kind of get started with something I've been a little obsessed with in the last few days. I watch a lot of YouTube. I mean, we do these videos and stuff, but I consume a lot of YouTube videos as well. And in fact, I mean, YouTube knows what we like to watch. So I've been seeing videos on like some camping, some RV stuff, some like van conversions and like other stuff where people are like on the road and traveling around. So like I said, some of this is really like just random stuff, but once you start watching a few of these videos out there, then you see more and more of these videos recommended to you. So I'm going down like a rabbit hole watching people convert like various different vehicles into some sort of livable situation, which is bananas. So some people are like in regular sedans, cars, and they're like trying to figure out how to travel and live out of their car. I have a truck, so I could potentially like pull a camper RV trailer situation or have some sort of pop-up thing. So we're going to start in that area. But if you have a niche or some product category, I'm going to fire up KW Finder and we're going to find some keywords. So it'll show a few things. One, the mechanics of using a tool, which I'll probably do more of these and use other tools because I'm agnostic. I don't care what tool you use. So today we're going to use KW Finder and just kind of walk through the process. You'll see how to use the tools, and then you'll also hear my thought process. So I'm just going to give a shout out to the people here. We have Mastermind, we have Tarun, Valin, Grant, Masher. Mastermind is saying profitable, high commission Amazon niche. Your way out. So you made it to a live. Brian's on, and Smart Home Rig says smart light switch. That's my primary keyword. Oh, Adrian's on. Thanks for the nice comments recently. And Brian has one for best keywords for a content-based pest control site. So I'm going to make notes. We're going to try and do as many of these as we can. I'll probably try and find a keyword or two for each of you. Now, the thing is, I don't know what you were using before. All right. So I have no idea what you've already done. So, but I will write smart. If I can write smart light switch, and then I'm putting them on these post-it notes. My pen's not writing for me too well. And then we have another one around pest control. All right. And I'm just going to write one more because that'll be good for right now. And then growing marijuana. All right. Nice one. Okay. So we got 3 on here and we'll see how we're going to go. And for the other people that are in the chat where you're like hopping on and there's like some chatter going on, you're going to ask questions. New people are going to come in and ask questions. I'm going to be busy doing stuff. So I'm going to, I know we have some cool people that I like and I need moderators. So basically if there's weird stuff going on, I'm making people moderators. Grant, David, people that are cool that I've seen around quite a bit. Adrian, you seem like a good dude. All right. So I have some moderators to help me out when nonsense goes on. And Valin, of course, Valin is a great guy. So if any kind of weird stuff goes on in the chat, you can throttle it down a little bit and let people know like what's going on. Hey, Doug's doing a few things. We got a short time limit. We don't have a ton of time. Right before I get started, I want to let you know today I'm actually releasing 7 new keyword golden ratio videos, and it'll be awesome if you do check them out. So they're going to pop up probably in your stream. If you're not subscribed, you should subscribe and all that kind of business. Okay, let's get to it over here. That actually worked pretty well. Okay, I actually meant to do this so I can face you. And you don't need to see me that big there, so I'm going to make myself a little smaller. So the first one that we have listed here is a smart light switch. So we'll just start off with smart light switch. And you also get to experience how slow I type, which is pretty slow. I'm just going to go ahead and make this the default of what I do, which is US and English, but you could pick whatever you need to do for the kind of research you're doing, but most people are going to be aiming for that. So we have, and by the way, I didn't even realize, so the last chance, a few hours left to get the 25% lifetime discount, which is cool. KW Finder is doing the lifetime discount, 25%. You could lock it in. And the thing is, I didn't realize this. I mean, it's Tuesday, right? Today is Tuesday, and there's still like Cyber Monday deals. What's with that? What's up with that? All right, so we have smart light switches, and what we see here is these are all pretty high search volume terms, and these are not buyer keywords at all. So one of the things I do pretty much right off the bat is you could either filter for best, or you can just put in best right away. So I'm going to put in best right away so we can get a little bit more deep into it. So we see best smart light switch is 2,000 searches per month. The keyword difficulty is 48, which is relatively high. I'm going to zoom in so that you can see a little bit closer. There we go. So we have best smart, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so basically what we see is these are relatively competitive, to say the least. And for this particular tool, you can click on the specific row and then it'll refresh the keyword difficulty. So 48. So if it's sort of grayed out, you don't get the full, or it's not an updated, it potentially could be a late, an older KD number, keyword difficulty number. So this one's 1617. So this is best Z-Wave switch. So that one could be okay. Best Z-Wave switch, that's relatively low. And that's just kind of a nice way to filter some of these out. Another thing I often do is I'll just sort it by the search volume, because a lot of times the higher search volumes are going to be just more difficult because there's more people going after them. Now, here's something more interesting. So best 3-way smart switch. So let's check the keyword difficulty there. It's 36, so that's actually kind of tough. Now, what if we go down? Okay, so best smart switch for HomeKit. So these are the kind of keywords I like, where it's best such and such for a specific thing. Those are usually pretty good. So best smart light switch for, and I'm just going to change this up a bit and change it to autocomplete and see what we come up with. All right. And cool. Looks like we got quite a few people in here. While that's refreshing, I can tell you someone is asking about a link building course. So Faith, I don't have a pure link building course out there. I do have a course called Site Growth Plan that has essentially a link building course inside of it. I don't advertise that very well, but basically there's a lot of information on that. So check out Site Growth Plan, and it basically helps you grow your site, as you would imagine. Okay, so now we have autocomplete, where it's using best smart light switch, and then we have a bunch of other, autocomplete situation going on. So with a motion sensor, so that's pretty good. And the thing is, we're going just more specific and more specific. That's a great way to do it, because it really focuses on the searcher intent. And you'll notice there's no search volume noted there, but this is a Google auto suggest because I've selected it right here. You see? Oh, shit, it's going to do it again. So anyway, the auto suggest will go and pull actual auto suggested terms. So that means people are searching for it on Google. So if you click at one of those other things, it'll refresh it, which is always fun to do on a live stream. It is the morning here where I'm at, so I'm drinking coffee out of my mug that has my own face on there. So that's great. That's how you know it's yours, even though there's only 2 people in here in the house. Okay, for Google Home, best smart light switch for Google Home. That one seems like a pretty good one. So this is where we're getting into some more interesting stuff. So we have specific applications. We have Apple HomeKit, smart things. The KDs is still reflected as relatively high, but that may be what you're dealing with in something more competitive. Now, I'm just going to make up some like more obscure type of searches, so like for a specific application. So I will, let's copy the keyword. We're going to go to a new tab and just paste it in. So best smart light switches for smart things. So I don't know what that is exactly, but maybe it'll give us some more ideas. Okay, so here we have specific brands, which could be a good way to go. We have iDevices wall switch. That's pretty cool. We have Tom's Guide, Smart Things, New York Times, blah, 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 which is the old wire cutter, of course. And okay, so a lot of e-commerce kind of stuff in here. But what I like to do is just Google stuff, see what I see. It's a very recursive process for me. I start in one area, go down a rabbit hole somewhere else, and then end up at a different place. So I see big sites here. So review.com, Tom's Guide, Smart Things, New York Times, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's looking slightly tough for me and not a great way to go. So let's go a little farther. And it's sloppy sometimes. It is sloppy where you're kind of like, I don't even know what to do. Okay, best smart LED light switch. Let's see what comes up for that. And that has a KD of 41. So you'll see I'm sort of using the keyword difficulty as a quick just sort of filter, like, hey, am I going to look any more? Many people misinterpret the keyword golden ratio and think that's the only thing that you should do or the only tool that's out there. And it's really just one of the tools in the toolbox. So depending on the kind of keyword research you're doing, you may want to just look at the KD number. If you use Ahrefs, maybe you look at their difficulty score or SEMrush, whatever it may be. You might use Longtail Pro and they have the keyword competitiveness score, which is a mouthful to say. So the thing is, you may use a certain method and find a bunch of keywords, and then you may want to back it off and then like do something a little bit different, use a different tool, use the KGR. Don't use the KGR. Maybe you just head over to another competitor website and just see like what kind of content they're publishing. You may find that they're kind of doing okay in some areas, but they really don't answer a specific query. So maybe you could check that out. All right, so best smart light switch. Let me see if I can come up with at least one for you where I'm like, man, that is a pretty good keyword. That looks pretty good to me. So I'm trying to figure out something that's related. So instead of smart, let's say Bluetooth. And the fun part is it takes a few seconds for all this to go through. The mastermind says, how accurate is KD? It depends. So any of these difficulty metrics that are out there, they're an estimate using data that the specific company figured that it was important. So some of it is accurate, some of it is not very accurate, and it depends on the keyword, you know. So just in general, it's hard to tell. I do find that KW Finder's KD score is more accurate for the kind of long tail keyword research that I do, and I find Ahrefs less accurate for the kind of research I do. However, some people love using those specific tools. All right, so best Bluetooth light switch has 10 searches and is relatively difficult. And because I have autocomplete on, it's only giving me one. So what I'll do here is click related keywords, which will take a few seconds. Okay, so, and one of the great things is because we have the chat going on, there's smart people helping us out. So Best Skateboard Club is helping us out here and mentioned this one here. So best light switch for gaming room, smart. So let's try that out. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Best smart light switch for gaming room. While we're waiting for that to pop up, one funny thing is a couple years ago. Oh, this popped up pretty quick. Okay, best. Oh man, so that has a KD 56, which is pretty high. And let's Google it and see like what the actual competition looks like. Okay, so we have some ads up here, of course, and then we have another ad section here, and then we have IGN, Tom's Guide, New York Times, So pretty tough, but the thing that we see here, right? So best smart light switch, dimmer. Okay, so these are basically not mentioning gaming room at all. So we have gaming smart light. So this is the closest one. And of course, I think IGN, is that a gaming site, folks? I have no idea. That's a gaming site, right? So maybe this is a tough one. But now that we're thinking about it, let's see best smart light switch for, we'll say, different rooms in the house. So we'll try kitchen here. And so 0 search volume, but I'm just curious about who's popping up here. And do they have kitchen in there? So these don't mention anything about a kitchen. Let's try bathroom. Cool. So that's very good. Bathroom. So no one's mentioning bathroom here in the first several. Great. Okay. So this is sort of leaning into KGR just a little bit here. And one thing I think I have. Okay. So we could just type in all in title and just see how many pop up. So 0. So best smart light switch for bathroom. There's no searches for this specific thing. A lot of people will, be confused and think, hey, no one actually searches with all in title. It's an advanced search. So great. Basically, it's telling us no one is publishing content on this. We could try kitchen. I have a feeling no one is. Is there anyone? There's one. All right. So through the magic of other people helping me, we've helped whoever asked for this. So best smart light switch for kitchen. Okay, so pretty cool. And I'm just going to check. So here's a good example, right? So I'm going to put in this term really quick. So best light switch for kitchen. This is going to show up as very competitive because these results are very competitive. However, we did see there's only an all-in title of 1, right? There's only 1 on here. So the KD number is 26. So there you go. You have one, and that's one that we can get rid of on the post-it notes here, and I can get rid of that. Okay, so next up we have, that didn't go in. Next up we have pest control. Pest control. All right. So I don't know much about pest control. Can you give me some other ideas, right? So if we just go with pest control, let me just think. Think about ants, maybe. People don't like ants in the kitchen. Let's see. Best ant traps for kitchen. Let's see what comes up here. And if anyone has good ideas that could help me through this, you can feel free to share. So best ant traps for kitchen, 120 searches per month, 35 KD. Best ant bait for kitchen. Okay, so what's the KD on this one? Also 37. And we are using KW Finder. It looks like they still have their Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal going on. There's a link in the description. I am an affiliate. So if you check it out using my link, I'm an affiliate. So I get a commission, and I'm happy whenever you use my stuff. Okay, so best ant traps for kitchen. So we're not seeing too much here. What can we do? We'll just say best ant trap. See what we could come up with. So 2,600 searches per month. And you know what? The other thing is ant traps are like so cheap. So maybe this isn't a great one to look for, but let's just see whatever comes up. Best ant bait gel. That previously had a keyword difficulty of 29 or 26. Now it's 29 when we refreshed it. Okay, so now we're getting into it. Best ant bait for sugar ants, which I don't know. Maybe they're sweet. They're sweet ants. Maybe they eat sugar. I'm not sure. There's no way to know. Okay, so 25. That's not bad. That's not bad. So let's see what pops up on Google. And I always check on Google. Shoot. So we are going too far here, and they're seeing what we're doing. Okay. Well, the other cool thing, which I haven't been paying attention to or telling you about, here's the thing. So with KW Finder, one of the reasons I like it so much is they have this section over here that has the SERP overview. So it's literally over here. I was Googling it and I didn't need to. I forgot it was over here because I was zoomed in. So best ant bait for sugar ants. We can see pest strategies popped up here. They have this is the link profile strength, LPS. So the first two results, one of them's the snippet, pest strategies, and then stoppestinfo.com. These have pretty poor backlink profiles. The domain authorities are relatively high at 33 and 42 respectively, but the links aren't super awesome. So that's kind of a good sign. We see Wirecutter pops up in here as well. Okay, so I think there's like some room in here, and you may check for specific kinds of pests. So first it was like ant bait, so we started there, and then we're looking at specific kinds of ants. So we've got sugar ants. There's probably a lot of other kind of ants out there. We can look at best ant bait to kill the colony. So you just don't want to get the one. You want to take the whole thing down. That seems to be a little more competitive here, and you can see just the results over here as well. Red and yellow means it's more competitive. Green means it's less competitive, of course. So we'll check one more, best traps for carpenter ants. And this is a 28, 70 searches per month, so not bad. And when we look over here, it seems to be just overall, it seems to be niche site type sites, which is good. That's a good sign. And a quick note, couple things. I know a few other people hopped on. I got more keyword golden ratio videos coming out later today. I'll appreciate it if you watch them and like and subscribe, all that kind of business. It's always helpful. Hopefully the refresh will be good. Oh, and my chat sort of froze over here, but I see that bed bugs. People were mentioning bed bugs, and what else? Pest control for homes, pest control in the winter versus summer. That's pretty good. Oh, here's a great one from Mastermind. Best ant traps safe for pets. Not a funny story, but I was traveling last summer and we were at an Airbnb and Georgie was with me, and my parents were with me too, and I was gone. My parents heard Georgie making all this noise. She found an ant trap and was like chewing on it a little bit. I mean, she was fine, but they started yelling at her and she sort of, freaked out a little bit. So we have pet friendly ant killer, dog safe ant killer. Okay, so we're getting in the right area here. Best indoor ant killer, which I guess is implied. Cat safe ant killer. And okay, so these are like more popular, it seems, than they used to be. That's a pretty good one. Ant traps, safe for cats, 25. But I mean, really, when you look at these two, so here's another thing. When you look at cat safe, ant killer, and then ant traps, safe for cats, essentially, right, they are looking for the same stuff, right? They're looking for the same thing. So I would almost treat those as equivalent, even though, you're potentially seeing different results. There's about the same number of searches. The CPC is much different. I mean, the thing is, the ant traps safe for cats is kind of an awkward phrasing. It would be a weird thing to run ads with that title. However, it's cheaper, right? So it's cheaper from an ad perspective, but there's more searches as well. So kind of strange overall, but these are the kind of things where you're like, okay, you just have to kind of look at those and assume that they're basically the same. Further, when people ask about, specifically the KGR, when people are like, hey, the KGR, you're focusing on low competition keywords, these are great examples. Basically, there's, 30 or 40 keywords all around dog friendly, ant bait, ant poison, whatever. There's all these keywords all related to this topic, and they're all a little bit different. The order of the words is different. Some of the phrasing is different. People use different words for the same kind of stuff. So really, when you're looking at a specific search volume, usually there's many other keywords that are super closely related. So let's move on to, I'm not sure if we found a great one, but there were several that were contenders. So pest control, I think we're good on that. Now we have growing marijuana. So this one, let's see, let's focus on like grow lights. So best grow lights for marijuana. Do you spell it like that? You can also see how poorly I spell. All right, and Adrian is doing a good thing. Yeah, if you're enjoying this demo, hit the thumbs up. It'll help other people find the video. If you like KW Finder, you can check it out. They got a kind of a excellent deal where you can lock in the savings. So best grow lights for marijuana. So 1,100 searches per month, KD of 33, so relatively high. Best lights for indoor growing. And if anyone has a specific any ideas for the marijuana, my chat is up to date. So, all right. Grow lights for weed, marijuana grow lights, cannabis, da-da-da-da. So best, this looks like it could be a little tougher. All right. So maybe we'll focus on marijuana. Hydroponics. Is that how you spell it? Probably. Hydroponics, how to grow hydroponic pot. Okay. How to grow hydroponic weed. And I just saw like so this one used to be a KD of 21, now it's 42. Okay, Grant says how to grow weed quickly. All right. We'll try that because I'm sort of grasping. The hard part is like if when you don't know anything at all, it takes a little while to get in the right frame of mind. All right, how to grow marijuana quickly. All right, nice. So that one has 10 searches per month and a KD of 28. And that seems pretty good to me. That seems like a good one right there. Let's see. These are odd, very odd related keywords just overall. And we don't see as many. We'll just put in weed. Okay, another good one, how to grow weed quickly. And then you have 19 for the KD, search of 10. How to grow big buds. Let's see. So that was relatively competitive before, 200 searches per month. And then, oh, it's 25, how to grow big buds. So that's a great one as well. And I think it'd be I used to do a little like vegetable gardening when I lived in Georgia, when I lived in Georgia. So it was very wet there. Here it's dry. You have like colder winters and stuff. Hey Vishal, this demo is with KW Finder, so I'm not going to use Ahrefs. Which flower grows the fastest? Yeah, so as you get in here, you see there's more and more, and grow big buds is 33. There's more searches, but how to grow big buds is a little bit less. So I'm just curious when we actually go and search for that. How to grow big buds. Oh yeah, I forgot it. Did that. Okay, so Leafly, pretty competitive. How to grow bigger cannabis buds outdoors. So this could be, more competitive than it seems. But there are probably, several other sites here that you'd be able to compete with. But there's some tough ones like High Times, Bud Informer. Yeah, so something to look at. I think there were a few. Oh, someone said best scissors for cutting buds. Oh, that's a good one. We'll check that out really quick. And all right, Rick's on, Brian's around. Why does everybody have a hard on for Ahrefs? Everyone's like, hey, do Ahrefs. We're using KW Finder. It's in the title. All right, best scissors for cutting buds is KD of 19. That's a great one, and I think fairly obscure. That's a nice one there. Good job. Best scissors for trimming bud, also pretty good. And that one has more searches. So yeah, very nice. Trimming pot plants. Okay, so that one's a little more competitive, but I have a feeling if you had some content around some of the other topics, then you'd be all right. Okay, I'm going to hit a couple of the questions over here just because people are asking questions. So we have, and then I'll do longboarding. So Sarav says longboarding. Brian says, how would I go after those that have a bad LPS? Just get more authoritative sites. So I think you're asking, how would you compete with people with a high LPS? So that's the link profile strength, and it's kind of like the metrics from Moz or Ahrefs or Majestic, where they're just putting a value on the links going to a specific page. So it kind of tells you like the equivalent of the page authority, or I think the citation flow, or the URL rating from Ahrefs. So it's sort of the same, and I think they're just looking at the backlinks that they can see and then putting a value on it. So it's partially valuable, but your mileage can vary depending on the manipulation that's taken place with the backlinks overall. And trying to see if there's any other questions that pop through. I know someone asked about the Haro link building course, so that's out there, and I think someone put a link in the chat there. But if you just go to nichesiteproject.com, actually go to courses.nichesiteproject.com, and then you'll see the courses that are available there. All right, cool. So now we'll look at some longboarding stuff. And I think I could just share. Can I share the screen the same way? Is it gonna screw up on me? All right, cool. It didn't mess up. All right. Best. Actually, can you give me some like keyword ideas from longboarding that you've already, because I don't know, best longboard for something. I'll just put on the autocomplete and see what we come up with here. So autocomplete takes a little longer because they're going and fetching the keywords, as it says right here. So it just takes a little bit longer because they're actually like cycling through the autocompletes, which I wonder how technically they do it. I wonder if there's like an API that you can hit, or if you have to like actually do this and hit the API. So best longboard accessories. That seems pretty good. 20 searches per month. We have best longboard app. So this is one thing I don't talk about a ton. So we've focused on this channel on Amazon affiliate marketing primarily, but really you should be diversifying. And this is stuff I'm going to be talking about more and more. So you should be focusing on diversifying your revenue sources. So whether, let's say you're just getting started, you're starting your new site and you're thinking, hey, I want to just do Amazon Associate because that's like the most straightforward to get started. Perfect. So start there. It's really great if you're able to essentially have digital products that you can promote. So we're talking courses and we're talking software, like an app. So best longboard app, there's probably several of them out there. You can write a piece of content. You could probably record a video showing how to use the different apps out there. And then you could refer people over to iTunes or the Google Play Store or whatever. Maybe they have their own, maybe it's like Evernote or something, and they have their own cart and sales cycle, and you can sign up to be an affiliate for other software. So the great thing is, number one, you're diversifying your revenue streams. But the second thing is software and digital products, software and courses, they have high margins. So usually the product creator can afford to pay you, the affiliate, a lot more. So that's kind of a smart way to approach it. And you may think, hey, there's not really apps out there for a lot of these products, or in niches, there's not an app out there. There's not software for certain things. But it turns out there's software for almost everything. Sure, there's some obscure niches that may not apply. But let's think about the things that we just looked at here. So we had smart light switches and smart home devices. So obviously there are tools and other programs and more things that you can get into. There's literally software. A lot of times the software is free though. Are there courses out there for smart homes? Probably not, but you could probably check it out on Udemy or something like that, and you may see there are courses on how people have maybe created and converted their home to a smart home. Maybe there is. I'm not sure. Maybe there's nothing like that, but there might be YouTube videos on the topic. Who knows? Now, that wouldn't necessarily be a digital product that you could push, but potential. There's some potential out there. At the very least, there's other products that you could promote that are outside of Amazon. So work directly with the companies that are selling those products. The other one was pest control. I don't know. There may be some sort of apps out there for pest control. I'm not sure. It may be something for pest control professionals, for client management, for example. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. And last, the growing marijuana and other things like that. I'm sure for hydroponics and for like monitoring and growing and making sure your plants have the right amount of light for the right amount of time and the right color intensity, the right temperature of that light. I'm sure there are apps around for that. And I'm also sure there's probably courses. I bet there's a ton of courses on growing weed and doing it at your home, which is legal here in Colorado. It's legal in many states. I think you could only have a certain number of plants. So if people are thinking I'm doing something illegal by even talking about it, I'm not. You literally can just go buy a plant and seeds and go to the store like it's a pharmacy or whatever. So It is totally legal here, which is great. In fact, I enjoyed an edible yesterday evening. Slept really well. It's great. All right, so we got back to the longboard stuff here. So let's switch over. I'm nailing these transitions today. So we got longboard, and somebody said longboard for kids. Best longboard for kids, and I'm going to click related keywords. Damn. For kids. And by the way, if people didn't catch it, KW Finder, and they still do have a special going on, apparently there's only a few hours left, and you can lock in that 25% discount. So best longboards for kids. Oh man, give that guy a medal. Grant, you crushed it. This has a KD of 9 and 170 searches per month. So whoever is a longboarding person, you got an idea right there. Best longboards for kids. So this is another thing. So longboard for kids is sort of the pure keyword without best in front of it, without the buyer's qualifying prefix right there. So we have the search volume of 1900 and a KD of 12. It's still only 12. So if you could rank longboards for kids, maybe I've just given someone an idea, longboardsforkids.com, 1,900 searches per month. I don't know how much those cost, but it's probably a few bucks. We also have best skateboards for kids, 1,900 searches per month, and we have 21 for the KD number. Just for baby compilation says, can you explain the LPS in KW Finder? Yes. The link profile strength is the general strength. You know what? I'm not going to use the words to define it because that's not helpful. Basically, it has to do with the authority and all the links that are pointing to that specific URL. And it's sort of equivalent to the page authority, the citation flow, and potentially the URL rating from Ahrefs. So it's kind of the same as that. It's like many of these metrics, it's not the end-all, be-all number. It is a nice estimate, a nice little guide to give you an idea. And yeah, everybody give Grant a hand for coming up with such a great keyword. So best longboard for beginners, another good one. So 3,900 searches and a KD of 26. Man, this longboard thing is huge. Somebody needs to start a site on that. How to choose a longboard. I wonder. Oh yeah, so a lot of green in here. Oh, here's a good one. Best skateboards for toddlers. That sounds dangerous, doesn't it? Skateboards for toddlers. Come on. All right, how about for babies? Let's see. Best longboards for babies. Is that going to work? I think you could rank it. I'd like to see a video on that. I bet you rank the video. I think the video is going to be funny. Very good. Very good keyword. Skateboard, girls, da-da-da-da-da. Best skateboards for 5-year-olds. 310 searches and KD of 14. So the skateboard niche is apparently on fire. I mean, this just looks fantastic. I'm going to have to jet here. We are at 46 past the hour. I do have a coaching call coming up with a student of mine, so we're going to be able to catch up. Best skateboard for an 8-year-old, 600 searches and 13 KD. And again, with a tool like KW Finder, I'm going to zoom in here. You can see sort of the trends going on. I'm in the way. Let me move over here. You can see the trend, and you can see that's the trend over here. So it's becoming more popular over the years here. And you can see the competitors and the link profile strength as well. And this is the estimated visits per month, which is kind of helpful to that specific page. And I think it is based on all of the keywords that that page is ranking for, not just the one that is listed here. So we have Bam Margera. That guy was in Jackass, right? That was that guy. Skateboarders HQ, Skate Fancy. So yeah, knock yourself out with these. I think this is a good route if you enjoyed. It looks like this has been more popular than many of my recent, let me switch cameras here. This has been more popular than many of my recent just live streams where I just talk with people. Although tomorrow I'm going to be chatting with Matt Giovanisi. It's going to be exciting. He put out a piece of content called The Lifestyle Business Manifesto, which is kind of how he's like changing up his business a little bit. And I'm excited to talk to him tomorrow. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Like the video if this was helpful. And I'll probably do more of these because it seems like people would love to have us look for keywords for them, and I get to use these tools. So I'll probably use different tools all the time just to keep it fresh and different. I didn't know there was a deal going on with KW Finder. I just happened to use it today. So have a great day out there, and look out for these KGR videos that are going to be coming out later today.